Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to a very special inactivation ceremony of B Troop, the 4th U.S. Cavalry Regiment Memorial, here at Ren Arena on Fort Huachuca. It is February 27th, 2026. It's Jeff Davenport here in the grandstands getting ready for this fantastic ceremony that is taking place, and we're very grateful for all of the folks who allowed us to be up here. Thank you so much to Angela for getting us up here, along with all the other media, and there are hundreds of people. If you pan to the right, you can see it is just a sea of people who are here for this ceremony, the B Troop 4th U.S. Cavalry Regiment Memorial at Ren Arena on Fort Huachuca. Glad you're joining us today. We are just moments away from the ceremony beginning, and as soon as it does, we'll turn it over to the public address announcer here at Ren Arena. This is where a lot of the Cochise College rodeos take place, and there'll be one coming up in a couple weeks, but we're glad to be here with hundreds and hundreds of our closest friends, and even some friends from the media who are here for this fantastic ceremony. What will this ceremony consist of? Well, on our way to this ceremony, we'll have the introduction, the welcome, a national anthem, an invocation, a demo, including a casing of the colors, the retirement of the equine, some closing remarks, and then the Army song that will play. This is estimated to be about an hour-long ceremony here outside, and as we're here, it's 80 degrees,
Ladies
according to the iWatch, but here we go.
The ceremony will begin momentarily. Please move to your seats and silence all cell phones and electronic devices.
So there we go, the momentarily sign. As you can see the close-up, they have the swords drawn on their right side.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Major General Richard T. Eppenhans, the commander of the United States Army Intelligence Center of Excellence in Fort Huachuca, accompanied by Mrs. Shannon Eppenhans, welcome to the inactivation ceremony of B Troop, 4th U.S. Cavalry Regiment Memorial. The ceremony also recognizes the remaining military working equines that have honorably served alongside our troopers. At this time, we would like to extend a sincere welcome to our distinguished guests. Honorable Clea McKay II, Mayor, City of Sierra Vista, accompanied by Mrs. Ramona McKay. Lieutenant General Jeffrey Buchanan, U.S. Army retired, accompanied by Mrs. Laura Buchanan. Honorable David Gowan, Arizona State Senator, accompanied by Mrs. Jessie Gowan. Dr. Linda Deno, Civilian Aide to the Secretary of the Army, Southern Arizona. Dr. Randy Groff, Civilian Aide to the Secretary of the Army, Southern Arizona. Sheriff Mark Daniels, Sheriff of Cochise County. Honorable Carolyn Flowers, Mayor Pro Tem, City of Sierra Vista, accompanied by CW4 Tim Flowers. The Honorable Mark Rodriguez, Council Member, City of Sierra Vista. The Honorable Faye Jackson, Council Member, City of Sierra Vista. Brigadier General Retired Gary Packard Jr., Senior Vice Provost, University of Arizona, accompanied by Mrs. Tina Hodgman. Chief Chris Hauser, Chief of Police, City of Sierra Vista. Mr. Norman Lawrence, Deputy to the Commanding General, United States Army Intelligence Center of Excellence. Ms. Fiona DeYoung, Director of Operations for United States Representative Juan Ciscomani. United States Army Intelligence Center of Excellence and the United States Army Network Enterprise Command teams. We also extend a special welcome to senior leaders of Fort Huachuca, and the distinguished leaders from our local and surrounding communities. The reviewing officer for today's ceremony is Colonel Michael Childs, Commander, United States Army Garrison, Fort Huachuca. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the singing of the National Anthem by Anastasia Verdon and remain standing for the invocation delivered by Chaplain Morse.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars o'er the let's fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
It is an honor to pray at this time. Gracious God, we pause with gratitude as we mark the inactivation of this cavalry troop. We thank you for the generations of troopers who served under its guidon. Their courage, discipline, and loyalty have left a legacy that will not fade. We also give thanks to the horses that served alongside these troopers, faithful partners in mission and ceremony, as they move on to new pastures. We pray they are cared for and remain a symbol of honor and strength. Bless the troopers, past and present. May their lessons learned, camaraderie built, and honor earned continue to guide them. Comfort those closing this chapter and remind us that while units may inactivate, the values of duty and honor endure forever. We entrust this history to your care and ask your continued protection over every trooper, family, and horse. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. B Troop, 4th U.S. Cavalry Regiment Memorial was officially established by regulation and funded by the Army in 1973. Unlike other ceremonial cavalry units, B Troop relies on volunteers to fill its ranks. B Troop conducted 40 to 50 events annually for over 50 years. Members of the unit are uniformed, equipped, and armed in accordance with the United States Cavalry standards of the 1880s. Please refer to your program for the full history of B Troop, 4th U.S. Cavalry Regiment Memorial. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the arena to witness the final demonstration conducted by B Troop. The riding demonstration you are about to see is exciting to watch, but for your own safety and the safety of troopers on horseback, we ask that you stay in your seats and do not approach the arena fence. Riding before you are members of B Troop, 4th U.S. Cavalry Regiment Memorial, representing the history of the United States Cavalry service in the Southwest during the 1880s. Established in Fort Huachuca, Arizona on July 4, 1973, B Troop's mission is to promote the heritage and traditions of the United States Army, military horsemanship, and Fort Huachuca. At the command of Counter Circle, the unit begins a demonstration of precision horse control. Displaying horsemanship skills developed through countless hours of practice, each trooper must keep their mount at a precise interval behind the horse in front of them. As they round the arena and the commander orders left and right about maneuver, you will see exactly why this interval is so important. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? That is what is known as threading the needle. Believe me, these troopers make that maneuver look easier than it really is. If even one horse is out of position, it can result in an absolute disaster. But these troops are so confident in their horse control that they're going to show you that cross again, except this time they're going to double the fun.
So threading the needle, double the fun here at the inactivation ceremony at Ren Arena on Fort Huachuca for B Troop, 4th U.S. Cavalry Regiment Memorial, here today on February 27th, 2026. So glad you're joining us on Cool FM Live for this event. The dust is kicking up, and you definitely feel like you're at a rodeo arena here today. Keep a close eye. And there they go.
The first one.
The thread of the needle as the horses cross paths perfectly. And perhaps they're going to do it on the way back across the arena. And they do it perfectly again.
And there's the second one. How about a big round of applause for these awesome troopers and their horses? The troop commander will now slow things down to a walk and conduct a series of parade maneuvers that demonstrates the unit's ability to perform mounted drill. These maneuvers were once seen daily on the parade grounds of forts throughout the nation. Mounted drill was necessary to teach cavalry units how to remain organized while on the march and when maneuvering as a group to get into position for battle. B Troop today uses modified versions of these maneuvers in parades and in riding performances to demonstrate horse control. As each command is shouted by the commander, the troops behind him repeat the commands so those at the end of the column can hear them. B Troop memorializes the unit posted at Fort Huachuca in the 1880s that gained fame during the Geronimo campaign. B Troop, 4th Regiment, U.S. Cavalry, led by Captain Henry Lawton, left Fort Huachuca in April 1886 to bring Geronimo in once and for all. They pursued Geronimo's band throughout the southwestern United States and Mexico for thousands of miles. They never caught up to Geronimo, but their dogged pursuit finally convinced him to surrender. 5 months after leaving Fort Huachuca, the Army accepted Geronimo's surrender at Skeleton Canyon, New Mexico. As part of the terms of the surrender, B Troop was ordered to escort Geronimo back east by train to prevent local citizens from hanging the infamous Apache leader. The surrender of Geronimo marked the end of the Indian Wars in North America. The pursuit of Geronimo caught the interest of the nation and the world. In 1887, President Grover Cleveland approved the transfer of B Troop to Fort Myer, Virginia. There, with Captain Lawton still commanding, the troop formed an honor guard and was reviewed by dignitaries, both foreign and national. B Troop is today comprised of a mixture of active reserve, National Guard, and retired military personnel, as well as Department of Defense civilians and contractors. The unit is unique in that although it is a special military unit, it is manned solely by volunteers who practice in their off-duty time. Only those few individuals who successfully complete the highly demanding cavalry riding school are awarded the spurs of a cavalryman. Historically, 1 in 10 completes the training and becomes a full-time trooper. Those who become members of B Troop must attend to their horses, tack, and stable duties on a daily basis in addition to their normal duties. Fort Huachuca's B Troop is one of just a few mounted units remaining in the Army and the only volunteer Army unit in existence. Now the commander is going to speed things up again. As a troop rides up the side of the arena, they move into a single file as skirmishers to prepare for the next maneuver. The troopers will split into 2 groups to demonstrate the skills necessary for close quarter combat with sabers. Innocent extends their sabers as far as possible to gain first contact with the point of their weapon. After the initial flash, each rider will then turn and close with any survivors to dispatch them with a slashing attack.
It's amazing watching these horses and the history that we're a part of, that they've been training like this for hundreds of years. And we're seeing the final run of these horses here on Fort Huachuca at Ren Arena on this beautiful Friday, the last Friday in February 2026. The 6 horses featured here. Feature Ben, Ghost, Jet, Rally, Sherman, Sinew, and Slim is the 7th one. B Troop 4th U.S. Cavalry Regiment Memorial was one of 8 ceremonial mounted horse units in the U.S. Army, and B Troop was officially established by regulation and funded by the Army in 1973. But of course, the military has been using horses
to reconstitute the unit
for a very, very long time.
The commander orders rally on the guidon, which tells all surviving riders to form up on the troop colors and prepare for the next attack.
Unlike other ceremonial
In this case,
cavalry
the commander
units
has elected to lay down suppressing fire with carbine. They will first extend the line and then have the troopers fire around at the enemy. Now, having broken up the enemy formation with rifle fire, the commander will order the troop to maneuver into position for a pistol charge. This was the 19th century version of shock and awe and was most effective against unprepared or disrupted enemy formations. With all ammunition expended, it is down to the final weapon of choice as a commander forms the unit for the most feared attack of all, the saber charge. astride McClellan saddles and tack used by the Army in the late 1880s, and mounted on geldings of a hardy color. B Troop participates in military ceremonies, parades, and riding demonstrations throughout Arizona and the nation.
It's like taking a step back in time. Here at Ren Arena on Fort Huachuca on this beautiful final Friday of February. Glad you're joining us on Cool FM Live. Jeff Davenport here. Watching all the fun of the inactivation ceremony of B Troop, 4th U.S. Cavalry Regiment. As the hundreds and hundreds of people here continue applauding for them as they march their way across the arena. A fantastic display, literally right in front of us.
Ladies and gentlemen, before you are the cavalrymen of B Troop, 4th United States Cavalry Regiment, committed to keeping the heritage and history of the United States Cavalry alive.
A standing ovation across Ren Arena for the B Troop, 4th U.S. Cavalry Regiment here today.
Today, B Troop is led by Trooper Jay Heiser, who is riding Slim. Also riding today are Trooper Rod Proust on Jet, Trooper and Guidon bearer Martina Peters on Ghost, Trooper Heather McKay on Rally, Trainer Kathy Atkinson on Sherman, Trooper Damian McConnell on Sinew. Also joining us earlier today was Trooper and Lady Shayna Green on Ben. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our demonstration. This will be followed by the official unit deactivation ceremony of B Troop, 4th U.S. Cavalry Regiment Memorial. Immediately following the unit deactivation ceremony, we will conduct a formal retirement ceremony of the B Troop horses. Please stay to witness these historic Army ceremonies. After horse retirement ceremony, please feel free to approach the troopers and ask questions and take photos. Remember to be safe. Do not walk behind the horses or do anything that could startle them.
Go! Present! Saber! Sir, permission to inactivate the troop. Activate troop. State sky on.
Just ask
The
for
final order is given, and the mission of B Troop U.S. Cavalry Memorial is now concluded. Their charge is passed to history, and the guidon of B Troop will now be retired from service. The commander and the first sergeant perform B Troop's final responsibility, furling the guidon and securing it within its case. It returns to the quiet archives of this post. Its duty is done.
Troop. There is Saber. Sir, the guy down his cage.
Let the record show that on this day, B Troop takes its last ride into the annals of Fort Huachuca. The memory of B Troop is preserved. The regiment remains, as always, prepared and loyal.
Return. Saber.
The remaining military working equines will be retired to honor their years of service while conducting ceremonial events and community engagements. In honor of their retirement, troopers are wearing the complete campaign uniform of the 1880s. A horse holder will accompany each trooper that normally rides and cares for that equine to remove the tack in a specific sequence. This symbolizes the bond between trooper and equine while paying respect for the years of service in the U.S. Army.
Extend line. Extend line. March. Prepare to dismount. Prepare to dismount. Dismount. Horse holders. Close.
The troopers will now conduct the following actions in sequence for the remaining 7 military working equines. Remove carbines from carbine boots and place on the ground 3 paces in front of and perpendicular to the horse.
Yeah.
Untie halter strap from saddle and hand to horse holder. Remove the bridle and hand to horse holder. Fold left stirrup and surcingle over saddle. Untie cinch from left side of saddle and let hang. String loose end of breast collar through center strap loop and then attach to the pommel ring on the right side of the saddle. Fold breast collar, surcingle, right stirrup, and cinch over saddle. Remove saddle and blanket from left side of horse. Face forward. Move 3 paces in front of the horse and place the saddle perpendicular to the horse on the ground. Place folded blanket and pad across the seat of the saddle. Retrieve bridle and saber from horse holder. Lay bridle across the seat of the saddle so that it is laying with the bit on the right side, signifying that the horse must no longer take the bit for the U.S. Army. Lay saber lengthwise on right side of saddle with scabbard point towards the pommel of the saddle, signifying that the horse is no longer required to bear arms for the U.S. Army. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the retirement ceremony of our 7 distinguished military working equines. We are proud to announce that Jet, Slim, Ghost, Sinew, and Rally will continue their dedicated service to the American people with the Customs and Border Patrol. Additionally, Ben and Sherman will continue B Troop legacy by serving the University of Arizona as they establish their own ceremonial detachment. At this time, please welcome the commander of the United States Army Intelligence Center of Excellence in Fort Huachuca, Arizona, Major General Richard T. Effenhines.
Cavalry Regiment Memorial. B Troop story began as an idea in the summer of 1973, an idea based on the rich foundational history Fort Huachuca is built on. Their mission was clear: heritage and traditions of the U.S. Army in the Southwest, to support our communities, and uphold the highest standards of military horsemanship. B Troop's mission took them across Arizona, from Clinton Centennial, the Fiesta Bowl Parade, Tombstone, Wilcox, every change of command, every 4th of July ceremony, Veterans Day ceremony, retirement ceremonies, and many more important events that were blessed in our communities. They were serving as ambassadors, promoting the finest that the Army has to offer. And we're damn fortunate, I'd say blessed, to have had people like B Troop on Fort Huachuca, representing the unwavering integrity, professionalism, and pride that defines our Army.
Of the Army song.
Sing a song, we're the army of the free. Count the brave, count the true, who have fought to victory. We're the army and proud of our name. We're the army and proudly proclaim. First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might, and the army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won, and the army goes rolling along. And it's hi, hi, hey, the army's on its way, down out the cadence loud and strong. For wherever we go, you will always know that the army goes rolling along.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. We sincerely thank you for your attendance. Please join us in bidding a respectful farewell to the troopers and powerful equines that carried on the legacy and traditions of B Troop 4th U.S. Cavalry Regiment Memorial.
Well, what a fantastic ceremony. Thank you again to Fort Huachuca for allowing us to come on up and be a part of this B Troop history in the making as these horses face a good retirement. They're going to keep on working, which is good. But again, thank you so much for watching these videos here. Had a little heat malfunction. It is a warm day here on Fort Huachuca. And it's great to see all the folks here lining up to go feed some of the horses and get some up close and personal photos with them. But we thank you for watching, thank you for sharing this video, and we hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll check in with you again later on. Signing off from Ren Arena at Fort Huachuca, it's Jeff Davenport. We'll talk to you soon.